Well, good morning.
Morning.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. It's a bit cold at the minute, and people always ask, one of the biggest questions is it cold on a narrowboat through winter? Stay with us and we'll find out. It's cold.
Freezing.
It's about -3 at the minute. Earlier on this morning it was even colder. It was about -5, -6.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of ice on the canal. There's bits of ice on the canal, but down near the junction and certainly round where Lady Brian is, I think mainly because of the tree cover, we haven't been frozen yet. But the temperatures aren't really getting above freezing today, and the Met Office have issued a weather warning for ice. And I know at the time of filming this, you can see it's a beautiful blue sky, it's sun shining, but I know a lot of places haven't got this kind of weather, and I think they've got snow, ice and all sorts. So basically it is freezing.
You know it's cold when Louise has a big thick woolly jumper on.
Yeah. And the fish, even over the last couple of days where we are, we don't get that many people walking past Lady Brian.
No.
But the people that have walked past that we've spoke to have asked that famous question, is it not cold on your boat in winter? Well, a couple of years ago when we bought Lady Brian, just after we'd done our first winter, I made a video. I'll put a link up at the top to that video, and it was all about
Morning.
the pros and cons of our diesel stove. And with the weather being as it is, and the economic climate being what it is at the minute, we thought we'd revisit the topic of our diesel stove and how we're finding it now as we're in our third winter, cost wise, and you know, whether it's keeping us warm and whether we would do anything different. But we're just going up here now, just having a nosy what CRT are doing, and then we'll head back to Lady Brian and we'll have a chat about it.
Where it's warm in front of the fire.
Yes.
With a nice hot brew.
Yes.
And a bacon butter.
Definitely yes. Right, so back in Lady Brian, nice and toasty and warm, because it is cold out there today, but the sun's coming out, so hopefully things will get a little bit better. So this noisy thing in the background, because it is noisy because it's got, our fire has a back boiler which powers the well, not powers, but it supplies the radiators, and we have 4 radiators in Lady Brian. We have one in the workshop, one in the bathroom, and 2 radiators up in the bedroom. So the noise that you can hear whirling away at the minute is the circulation pump that's pumping the water through to the radiators. But because we're now in the prime spot and the prime time of day that we're getting solar on the boat,
it's noisier.
Yeah, we're raking solar in and the pump's whizzing around, so it's gone really noisy because he's getting that much power in. So I apologise about that, but there's nothing we can do.
With that?
But that's our stove. It's a Morso Squirrel, and it had the diesel conversion kit put in from Lockgate, and yeah, it isn't cold. In fact, I can show you on the thermometer, it's actually 21 degrees inside Lady Brian at the minute. So yeah, in answer to everybody's question, is it cold on a narrowboat? The answer is no. It's froze outside, there is ice on the canal, it's about minus whatever it is outside, and it's 21 degrees inside. So you can see Lou is in her famous vest tops.
Vest tops.
And it is what it is. The problem is if we turn the fire off, because it is so cold outside, the boat will cool down so quickly.
Well, we should ask it ending.
But yeah, we put a vlog out a year or two ago now, talking about the pros and cons of the diesel and prices associated with it. So we thought we'd revisit it. Now we are reckoning at the moment that we're going through, what did we work it out at diesel wise? How many litres?
At 35-ish?
Yeah, on its lowest setting. So on the diesel, if you haven't got a diesel, we have settings, so we can go from setting 1 to number 6. And on setting 1, the lowest setting, we're going through about 35 to 40 litres a week in diesel. At the current price of about £1.30, that's about £45 plus per week in diesel, just in the fire. When it's cold like this of a night time, once the sun disappears, it goes cold a bit, doesn't it? You do notice a chill.
We turn it up a little bit sometimes, don't we?
So that fuel usage can go up. So at the moment, it is costing us, because the price of diesel's gone up, it is costing us a lot more.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the price has come down, but when it was like £1.50, £1.60, £1.70 kind of prices, you know, putting a fire on at that kind of price is crippling. So we actually did think, because we love the diesel, don't we? We love the simplicity.
Much easier.
It is. It's cleaner. We don't have the ash. We don't have this. We don't have that. We use meths to light it. So we put a little egg cup full of meths in, light it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we can leave it for a month or two. You know, that's it. It is really as simple as that. As long as we've got diesel in the tanks, then the fire's running. We have thought about changing.
No. You have thought about changing. I haven't.
Yeah, I thought about changing and going back to a multi-fuel stove.
River.
Because basically the cost of diesel is so high, it's crippling us. And the thing is, although coal has gone up, what we thought was, with a multi-fuel stove, we've got that benefit of being able to go out and forage for wood.
Yeah.
And the benefit of that is it's free. We can forage for wood, it's free to do, and what our thoughts were is, through the daytime we can burn wood that we scavenge for free, and then in the evening we could mound up some coal to keep the fire in through the night, and that would bring the cost down dramatically. But there were some drawbacks. If we changed this one to a multi-fuel, or we bought the panels to try and convert this back, one, we've got the cost of that, and secondly, the fire wouldn't be able to go there, or we would have to remodel how the fire went. And that's all down to the BSS scheme. So with a multi-fuel stove, your hearth has to have a minimum depth in front of the fire, and I'm assuming that's in case when you open the door, hot coals can roll out and obviously set fire to your boat. With the diesel stove, we don't need to have that hearth because there is nothing to come out, so it's fine. If we change it to multi-fuel, we would have to then redo the hearth. That would then remodel this whole area where this is, narrow the passageways down. It would just be kind of like the cost of buying the stove and then remodeling this would be kind of like, is that really going to be worth it? So then we thought, well, what if we put a multi-fuel stove up in the bedroom area?
Yeah.
Because we've got room up in the bedroom, so we could build a new hearth in the bedroom and put a multi-fuel stove in the bedroom. And we could burn some wood in that through the day. The heat would slowly make its way down, but it's not too bad in daytime because you're up and about. Of an evening time, we may put this one on for an hour just to take a bit of chill off the room down here, but then we've got that through, and that then means that we're not having to burn this and we can burn forage wood. So that was a way of kind of like a compromise for us, really, that might work. And I think I was kind of selling it a bit to Lou with that, weren't I?
Yeah, my only concern is that I don't want it too hot when we go to bed.
No, we'd let it die out. I think you'd have to manage it enough that you could let it die out so it wasn't too hot. But then the more I thought about it, the more problems I came up with. Again, we then have the cost of buying a new stove, the cost of the installation and having a new hearth built, and then we have the problem that we don't already have now, is that we have to stock coal and logs. So where do I store it? I'm already maxed out with weight, the extra weight in logs, the extra weight in coal, the extra expense of having it fitted. It's kind of like you start to think to yourself, well, is it actually worth it?
I'm just being whacked by a shadow. People can just about see his
his
leg.
ball coming in. Yeah, so it's kind of, is it worth it? Is it worth carrying the extra weight and everything else just to save a little bit? And then with the cost of everything, am I actually saving? And how many years am I going to have to run it before I've made that saving back? So I think for now, well, definitely for now, because the budget doesn't stretch to buying a new fire.
Plus she who must be obeyed says she's keeping this one.
Yeah, plus she who must be a bird says she doesn't want the mess of a multi-fuel at the minute. So we're going to have to work harder to keep the pennies coming in to keep a diesel fire going, is the long and short of it. But we're into our third winter on Lady Brian now, and to be honest, other than the cost of diesel being what it is, I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't. The beauty of what we've got is that we have the benefit of it looking like a multi-fuel stove. So I know some people don't mind the reflex ones and whatever else, where you've got the metal cylinder, and in some boats, you know, it probably fits, but I prefer the look of a multi-fuel. So we're quite lucky in the fact that we've got that, but with the benefit of diesel.
Good girl.
So yeah, I wouldn't change it. Lou definitely wouldn't change it.
No.
The cost has gone through the roof compared to previous years, but you know, that's just the way it is. Hopefully diesel prices will come down, and then that'll be, you know, that'll be a bit more acceptable again, but I can't see that happening anytime soon, can you?
Oh, there's somebody going past.
Oh, yeah.
Can't hold on to her any
No,
longer.
you can always tell when people are going to walk past. So that, in a snippet, is the diesel stove and our thoughts on it after 3 years. I'm not sure what the running cost is now with multi-fuels and coal. I know coal's gone up, but people are now, I think, spending more time foraging for wood to keep that cost down. So there is a big difference. I think if you was burning coal all the time, it possibly is going to be in keeping there or thereabouts. The diesel's probably going to become out more expensive, but
I don't think it'll come out more expensive by much.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if any of you are running a coal fire without
with just coal.
With just coal. That's what. Yeah, I'll try to think of a fancy word. I should know better.
Why? When you can just be straight to the point.
Yeah. So if you're just burning coal straight without using too many logs and whatnot to keep the cost down, drop us an idea of what you're paying, if you don't mind putting that out there, but give us an idea of what your costings are.
Nosy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just curious as to, you know, whether it would make a saving changing to a multi-fuel or not.
It's not happening. So don't even think it is.
But it might do.
But it's not.
Might do.
No, it might not do.
Anyway, the tanks are getting empty. We've heard on the grapevine that the fuel boat is coming within the next day or so. But there is ice forming on the canals. We've got freezing fog forecast. So whether the fuel boat's actually going to make it through or not and get to us, we don't know. But the tanks now are getting empty, aren't they?
Yeah, very empty.
Yeah, very empty. From when we filled up at Horn Basin last. So
yeah,
like I say, 45 litres of fuel just in the fire. And when you count the fact that we have to run the engine to charge the batteries, then we are probably using about 65 to 75 litres a week. So yeah, at the moment it's getting very expensive. So we need to get the generator repaired, but unfortunately the parts I think I need for it aren't in stock at the moment, so we're just waiting for them to come into stock. So for now, we're keeping everything crossed, and let's keep it crossed that fuel boat can get here.
Yes, because I need heat.
Or just a jumper.
No, why would I want to jump? Why do I want to sit inside relaxing with a jumper on?
Am I wrong? Or is a jumper acceptable?
No, not on my boat it's not.
Alright, let's hope it comes soon.
Come on.
Well, so after talking about the expense of diesel stoves and everything else, we're hoping to get some diesel for it today. We're waiting for Rich on the fuel boat Roach. He's supposed to be coming through from the junction and then heading past us up that way. So we've sent a message through. Apparently he is moving because the canal is, I don't know how that's picking it up, the canal is frozen. So to be honest, we was unsure whether we would actually get any fuel today, but we are getting desperately low. All the fuel that we picked up from Horn Basin, you know, a few weeks ago, that's all gone now. So we are desperate. We're not going to be able to get much because of the cost, but something's better than nothing. Means we can keep the fire going. But we believe he is moving. Whether he makes it here or not, we don't know. But he will be coming past in the next day or so if he doesn't make it here. So yeah, dogs are out having a play while we're waiting for him to turn up. Keep fire going for a little bit longer.
Yay!
Yeah.